We will now fasten the crankcase to the pillar. So I will zoom in, and if we take a look at the pillar now and the hole, we see that the threads are gone. And that's because we painted the pillar with this color, so the image of the threads is not visible right now. So, but the hole itself has the right information. It is a M4 hole. To bring back the image so that we can see the threads, we have to select the hole in the IntelliShape level. So a quick way to do that is to press the Alt key and then left click inside the hole, and then you right click, and down here you can click on Add-on Properties, and the menu will show up, and here you can select Apply or Update, and you will see the threads. Then I will click Apply and Exit. So to fasten the crankcase to the pillar, we will use Fasteners SE. So I will drag a Fasteners SE, and I will use the Shift key to snap it to this edge. If you snap it to the center of the hole, the screw and the washer will turn the other way around. So I will snap it to the edge, I will drop it here, let go the left mouse button and the Shift key, and then I will grab this handle to drag the screw and the washer. Then I will deselect the axis by clicking outside the tribal, and I'll right click this handle and choose parallel to axis. So I will click here inside the hole. Then I will deselect that axis by clicking outside the tribal and right click the 2D handle, and here I choose to center point, and I will click here inside the hole. Then I will select this axis and right click and choose to point, and I can choose this node or this node. It doesn't matter which one, but I will select this one, and the screw and the washer is in right location. Now we have to check if the screw has the right length. So I will turn off the tribal, and then I select the pillar so it is selected in part level. Then I come over to the properties, and down here we have the settings for the transparency. So I will grab this slider and drag a little bit so that we see the screw here inside the pillar. And we see that the screw is too short. So we have to change the length of the screw. And we do that here in the menu. So we select it and we change to 10 and update. And now we see that the length is fine. So I will click Apply and Exit. And when the pillar is selected, I will come down here to select the transparency back to 0, type 0, hit enter, then we have to click here in the scene to update the scene. Then we will add a Fasteners SE here as well, so I will drag another one, drop it here in the center, and we will have M4. This one will not be checked, but this one add to bill materials, and the length will not be 10 but it will be 8, and I will update, and then I will click Apply and Exit and turn off the tribal. Then I will deselect the assemblies before I drag another assembly into the scene. So I will drag another Fasteners SE here, drop it here in the center, and this screw should go through the connecting rods and the crank disc. So I will change the length here to 12 and update, and 12 is fine. So I will click Apply and Exit and turn off the tribal. Then I will deselect the assembly. Then we come up here to this side of the pillar, drag another Fasteners SE, and we will snap to the edge, and we will turn on the tribal and drag the screw and the washer so that we see the whole screw. Then we'll deselect the axis by clicking outside the tribal and right click this orientation handle, parallel to axis, and click inside the hole, deselect the axis and right click the 2D handle and choose to center point of the hole. Then I will select this axis and right click, choose to point, and I will choose this node. And this screw should go through the pillar here, so I will change the length to 16 and click update, and the length is fine now. So I will click apply and exit and turn off the tri-ball, and I will deselect this assembly. Next step is to add a screw in the washer here. So I will drag another fastener chassis, drop it here in the center, and 16 is too long, so I will change that to 12. Apply. 12 is fine. So I will click apply and exit and turn off the tri-ball. Next we will add another fastener chassis here. So I will grab one, drop it in the center, and here we need a washer and a nut on this side. So we come over to the menu, we need a nut, so we click on this button, and here we click active, and we choose this washer, and we click active. Then we update, and it fits perfectly, and that's because I have the value 6 here. Perhaps you have 10 millimeters, and I will update here. Perhaps it will look like this for you, but the distance between these two washers is 6 millimeters because the connecting rods has a thickness of 3 millimeters. So together it will be 6. So that's why we have to change the distance here to 6 and update, and the washer and the nut will be placed in the right location. Then I will click apply and exit and turn off the tri-ball. So we go over to the other side here, make the same procedure, and drop a fastener chassis here in the center. And now, because we have already added one on the other side, this one will fit perfectly. So I will click apply and exit and turn off the tri-ball. So now we have added screws here and washers and nut and a washer on all these, but we have to fasten the bracket to the piston. So we will select the bracket and shift select the piston, and then we will hide unselected. We press Ctrl Alt Space, and I will select the piston and change the smoothness. So I come down here to change the surface smoothness to 60 and hit enter. So now we need to add a screw here and also a countersink hole and a threaded hole in the bracket. And we will add all at the same time by using a fastener. So I will drag a fastener and I will drop it here in the center, and we got a large one. So I will change the size of this bolt. First of all, we will go to Screws 2 tab, and here we will select this one, this screw. Then we will update, and it will look like this. And it's too large, so we have to change the size of it. We uncheck this box, Auto, and change from M10 to M4. Update, and the length is too long, so we will change the length to 10 and update. Now we will add a hole here on the piston and also a threaded hole in the bracket. So we come over here to check this box, create hole locked to the fastener. So we will click this button to get this drop down menu, and here we will check or select this countersink hole. This one should not be used, and here the last part, the bracket, will have this drilled hole, a threaded hole. So now when we have these settings set, we can click update. Now we see that we have got a hole, a countersink hole, and here we have a threaded hole. So now I will click apply and exit and turn off the tri-ball, and I will select the bracket, and I will hide unselected by pressing Ctrl Alt Space, and we see now that we have a threaded hole in the bracket. So I will bring back all parts by pressing Shift Space, And I will also select the cylinder here and change the smoothness to 60. It will look a lot smoother. So now we have fastened all the connecting rods and the crankcase and this bracket. So I will select this piston. Here in the properties we will type the name piston. Hit enter and we copy the name, paste it here, and the piston will have the part number 110, and I will change the color to this gray color. Then we select the bracket and we type joint bracket here. I'll copy the name, paste it here, and the part number will be 111. So now I will move the camera to top front right and fit scene, and then we will save the scene and we will continue in the next video.